Welcome back, everybody. This is video number 4 in Social Studies in Isolation. We've had a little bit of kind of all over the place. Actually, we're on video 5. Sorry about that. Video 5. We've looked at different economics things. We looked at some history. So today we're going completely off the cusp. Got my inspiration as I was listening to Iowa Public Radio today. Yes, students, that is how cool I am. I listen to Iowa Public Radio. And on there, they were talking about some Iowa history. And they were talking about dancing bands in Iowa. And one of the towns they're talking about was the one and only Rolfe, Iowa. So I thought I'd do a little video talking about what happened there. So a lot of this is credited to Leah Landis, who's the curator down in Des Moines, who is on the show today. So what happened here? So if you know anything about the 1910s, 1920s, you know that there was a lot of moral leaders that were really pushing policy in the United States. The biggest one that you certainly know of would be prohibition. So moral leaders thinking that alcohol was causing all of these problems, and so alcohol was banned all across the country. Well, another one of these is dancing. So think of the movie Footloose, many of you have seen. Booze and dancing causes all the problems. And so what they did is they put in different towns across Iowa. There was no U.S. rule, there was no rule at all in the state, but different towns would have different ordinances. Billy Sunday, who was a famous preacher, was famous in the 1910s for, he said the tango was the rottenest, lowest down, vilest, filthiest, and most corrupting dance ever invented. What he didn't realize is that what was coming up would be something he would probably consider even worse, which was jazz music. So jazz music comes along, and there's a whole number of dances involved in this. If I was more tech savvy, I would include video clips, but I don't know how to do that. So you get pictures. So you had dances such as the grizzly bear, or you had the bunny hug, or the Texas Tommy, or the shimmy, or the toddle, or the Lorraine. And these were all kind of considered cheek-to-cheek dances because of how close people would have to get together in order to do them. They were also very fast-paced dances, meaning they were moving together very quickly and very close together, which, according to an older generation, would not see this as morally sound. They think this is going to lead to bad moral upbringing for these kids and everybody that's involved in it, and so they're going to put bans in a few different places, not all across the country, but in a few different particular towns. One of the most famous of these would be taking place in a small town in northwest Iowa called Rolfe. So if you don't know where Rolfe is, look it up. But Rolfe, Iowa decided that they were going to ban a lot of these different things to improve the moral standards. So they banned different types of dances. They banned the grizzly bear, they banned the bunny hug, the Texas Tommy, and what they classified all of these as kind of suggestive, immoral, indecent dances. And so any type of dance that was that caliber was going to be banned. They also put into effect a limit on other types. So a waltz, for instance, was still allowed, but a waltz had to be 48 measures to the minute. They also banned girls under the age of 16. They were not allowed to go to these dance halls. They prohibited really any type of jazz music that existed. And they also banned alcohol, which alcohol was already banned in the country, but nobody was paying attention. So they kind of rubber stamped that again and said that was going to happen. So all these different things are going to be banned, dancing being kind of the forefront of all of it. So what happens if you don't? What if you show up and you start dancing cheek to cheek? Well, most of the people that were doing the dancing probably weren't going to get in trouble. But if you were the owner, the manager of the dance hall, you could get in trouble if you were allowing this to happen within your establishment here. So some of the fines, anywhere from $5 to $100, which at that time period is quite a bit, especially once we get into the 1930s when money's going to be tight. Or my favorite, you could actually be thrown in jail for no more than 30 days. I can just picture it. I'm looking in here at the Pocahontas County Jail, and this is what you see. Hey, buddy, what are you in for? Yeah, I'd really rather not talk about it. Aw, come on, man, spill the beans. I got in here, I knocked a guy's front teeth out in a bar fight, stole his car, crashed it into a telephone pole. Ooh, I showed him what was up. Well, you see, I was running this place, and the guys and the girls were dancing too close to each other. So I got 15 days. So certainly not the exciting tale you're going to be bragging about to all your buddies about the hard time that you served. But that was the situation we lived in America during the time period. You did have a lot of moral leaders who were really pushing political agendas and prohibition of alcohol, the banning of dancing. These were kind of things that got caught up in the wayside. So we kind of look at it today and we laugh at it a little bit, but that was the time period. So just a little bit of Iowa history, a little bit of local history for those of us that live around the West Bend or the Rolfe area about what's going on. So hopefully you're enjoying your Thursday, you're enjoying staying healthy out there, and have a great day, everybody.